Hi, I thought we might do a little bit of work on cells because that's our next topic. So let's have a think about what a cell is. Now, there are so many different cells we have. The proper name of this thing my little cell is holding is a cell phone, or it uses a cell as its area that's going through. So a cell, if you like, in phone terms, is the area it goes. And I like the play on words of selfie, because this is what we think a cell is like, and more about that in a moment. Alright, originally we didn't realise what was going on, and it wasn't until we discovered the microscope and were able to use it that we saw the similarity of things, and so we had to think about what was going on. And I'll explain why in a moment, because our old ideas were not really clever, but they were the best ideas we had. Now, it's important to realise that science keeps growing. It is not static. In other words, what we know today and what we know tomorrow will be slightly different, because we learn more today. So that means our knowledge is increased, and we might have a different view on why things are happening around us. So when it came to it, there was a whole group of scientists in the 1800 and 1900 who were studying cells, and they came up with a cell theory. Now, this is our best explanation of a cell at the moment. Remember, a theory is not a guess. It is basically looking at what we know, and at this time, this is our best information or our best explanation of what we know. So here's what we're going to think about, and I want you to remember this, because this could be useful in any write-up, in any report, in any test. All right, three main things. Everything is made up, the middle one first. Everything is made up of cells. So cells are the smallest part. They're like the building blocks. Some people call them the building blocks of life. All right, so we've got cells. And so all living things are made of cells, these things build up. We don't know ever anything that is not made of cells, even though sometimes it might change the way it goes about doing things. And the third thing we know about it is cells don't magically appear or disappear. So a cell comes from another cell. So if we are growing a new skin cell, it comes from a pre-existing skin cell. It doesn't sort of go from somewhere else. Now, when one cell, or unicellular, uni means one, so one cell organisms, when they are making and reproducing, they simply split in half. So that means the new cell came from the old cell, and this follows our cell theory. That's why we have it. Now, this sort of idea took over from a really amazing thing called spontaneous generation. Now, people used to see things suddenly appearing, like there might be a dead animal, and then a week later there might be flies and worms and things like that coming out of it. So their idea was that living things came from dead things, but they suddenly developed, which doesn't sound really good, does it? So someone did an experiment, not exactly like this, but very similar to this, to make sure, to find out what was going on. They put some old meat or some old produce in 3 containers. One container they left open to the air. The other container they put closed, and so nothing could get in or out. And here then they put a permeable thing across here. In other words, there was still air could move in and out, but nothing else. And so when they discovered, they left this for a little while, they discovered, maggots and things developed on this one that was open to the air. Nothing developed on the thing that was closed in the bottle, and nothing developed on this other one. So it meant that something came in and caused this. So they weren't magically appearing, they were actually linked to other things. Now, a lot of times we didn't see the flies go and land and lay their eggs on it. We now know that this is how it happens. And we couldn't see that. We didn't hang around long enough. We were too busy living our lives. So you can see how it's changed from not knowing much. By doing little experiments, we come up with these theories, and that's how come we have the cell theory. I'm going to come back with some other ones later.